Hola chicos, o hola estudiantes. I need to apologize again that I am late with the introductory video. Actually, I guess I'm not too late since our Capitulo 4 officially opens today, although I let the module open early for those of you who are working ahead. I've had issues with my webcam and it would not capture anything. So I had my computer in yesterday to have it checked out, and finally today I broke down and bought an external webcam. So we should have that problem solved because now I can use the external cam and not have to worry about it. So Capitulo 4. Once we are done with this chapter, we are 2/3 of the way through the summer session. It's going quick, and this is something I've talked about throughout the time. But you are learning a lot. I can see that from the work that you're doing, from your work in my Spanish lab, from the way you're pushing through with Duolingo, from your composition posts. You're doing really well, and that's really impressive given the intensive nature of this summer session. So we just need to keep pushing through. And that's what we'll do. At the end of Capitulo 4, you will actually have your second exam in the class. It will be over the materials from Capítulo 3 y Capítulo 4. So again, make sure you go through every step in the module. Make sure you read through and do all of the audio activities in your e-text. Make sure you keep up with all of the homework assignments, because these are the things that will prepare you to take your exam. With this type of preparation, you shouldn't have to do much extra studying for the exam. You should be able to get through the exam with what you have done for work. So what are we learning in Capítulo 4? Vocabulary-wise, we are learning to talk about our families. You already did this a little bit because in your composition post for tres, I had you write about the family. So with these composition posts, I kind of push you forward with what we're working on. So this keeps pushing you to the next chapter. So we'll be talking about the family, and we'll be talking about leisure activities, what you do in your free time. There's a lot of grammar in this chapter. Of course, we do that in every chapter, but there are some new concepts. We're going to be learning direct object pronouns. Now, direct object pronouns we use to replace nouns in order to eliminate redundancy from our speech. We use these in English as well. For example, I play the piano. My sister plays the piano as well. We both like to play the piano because we like the sound of the piano. Sounds weird to say the piano over and over again. So in English, we replace it with it. I play the piano. My sister plays it as well. We both like to play it because we like the sound of the piano. So you can use it interchangeably. This is the same in Spanish. They use direct object pronouns as well. In the video lectures I have posted, as well as the PowerPoint, you will also find I have given a bit of an introduction to indirect object pronouns. These don't actually come until a later chapter, but it does make sense to learn or at least be introduced to them along with direct object pronouns. With this, we will also be learning how in Spanish we use the a personal, which is to put an a in front of a direct object when that direct object is a person. And your e-text explains this very carefully. So further with grammar, we will be learning demonstrative adjectives. So adjectives that demonstrate where something is or its relation to the speaker. So for example, I have this pencil. I prefer this pencil to that pencil, but I really prefer that one over there. So I'm using demonstrative adjectives to speak about things in relation to me. And then also you have demonstrative pronouns. I have this one. I don't want that one. I really don't want that one over there. So we'll be learning how to do that in Spanish. Of course, we always have verbs. We'll be continuing on with more irregular verbs in the present tense, looking at stem changing verbs. So these are verbs that change the main part of their verb when they're conjugated, but they only do it within what we call the boot in Spanish. These are explained very clearly in your e-text and also in the PowerPoint and in the video lecture on stem changing verbs. And then some of the other irregular verbs, saber, conocer, traer, poner, others of that nature. Culture-wise, we are looking further at the more southern part of America Central. Okay, work-wise, to do this, again, like I said, go through all parts of the homework modules, please. This will help you along. Continue with Duolingo. Make sure you post your screenshot. Make sure you do all of the e-text activities, all of the e-text audio, and of course your My Spanish Lab homework. I have quite a few YouTube videos, the short 5-minute Spanish videos. You have your music. All of these things help to reinforce the language and reinforce concepts that we are learning. You have your composition post this time. Your composition post is on La Casa de mis Sueños, the house of my dreams. You can feel free to post a picture with it, get creative, talking about where you would like to live. One little hint to you, if you would like to have a house in the country, as we say it, in Spanish, that's not, don't look up the word the country, because you'll end up saying something like you want una casa en el país, which literally means in a country, like a nation, okay? Think of countryside, and that would be en el campo, in the countryside. So be careful when you're looking at vocabulary, especially with online translators. Let's see, of course, also respond to another student. Your film this time is Diarios en Motocicleta, the Motorcycle Diaries. The version I would prefer you to watch is all in Spanish. So this is your first all Spanish film. I do not expect you to get all of it. You know, even people who have studied Spanish for years and years don't get all of it when they're watching a film. What I do expect is for you to be able to pick up on the cultural aspects of the film, which can be done even if you don't really understand the language. So of course you post about that in the forum. A word on SI and conversation hours. Some of you have been great about at least doing the SI module. Some have attended the live SI sessions. Even if you do the SI module, that's great, but I will tell you, you will get so much more out of interacting directly with Lindsay, so I would encourage you to do that. There have not been many of you doing the conversation hours with Sarah. Not only are these required, but this is going to probably be your best way to practice speaking Spanish. And with the next chapter, with Capitulo 5, so right at the very end of that chapter, or the first 2 days of Capitulo 6, you are going to have to meet with me via Skype for your oral exam or your oral interview. So make sure you're comfortable actually doing that in the conversation hours. And this also counts towards your participation grade, a pretty big chunk of your participation grade. So make sure you do those things. And then you have examen dos, so your second exam. And once we're done with all of that, we'll be 2/3 of the way through and ready to push through till the end. Again, any questions, you know how to find me, right? And you know how to find your classmates, and you know how to find Sarah, and you know how to find Lindsay. So please take advantage of that. And buena suerte con Capítulo 4.